Welcome to Career Journeys, a series of videos by the Consortium for Public Education. Here we explore the career experiences and pathways of professionals from a wide variety of careers to help you think about the skills you'll need and the paths you might take after high school.
Hi, I'm Debbie Pixton with the Consortium for Public Education. Today I'm interviewing Omar Badran, Improvement Specialist at UPMC. Thank you for joining us, Omar.
Thank you for having me.
Omar, you have a really interesting career path. Can you tell me about where you thought you were going when you were in high school and kind of how you ended up as a critical care nurse?
Yeah, so in high school, I was a student athletic trainer for, a variety of high school sports. And I thought, once I graduated high school that I was going to, become a student athletic trainer or get that, the sports athletic training degree in college. However, when I was in college, I started leaning more towards sports management. And then I actually did graduate with a sports management degree. And then in the real world, I tried to get a job in sports management. And mostly the sports management jobs are in sales. And I really didn't see myself as a salesperson. So then I started, to look again, see, okay, well, I have an interest in medicine, the human body. What else, what other programs are out there? And so I actually, we looked again at the sports medicine program, but I saw that it was, 4+ years of more schooling. And being, as a second career, I wanted something that, not so much that was, get the job done quickly, but, I already have the education, a college degree beforehand. I want something to supplement that. Several colleges around here offered 1-year BSN programs. So you pretty much, you already have a bachelor's program. You come out with a bachelor's degree in nursing. However, a lot of these programs require you to take, GREs, GMATs, and I'm not too fond of test taking. So, and I expanded my search more, and I actually found out that with UPMC, they have a school of nursing program. So I actually did a 2-year diploma program through UPMC Mercy.
So after you finished the program at UPMC Mercy, you you spent time as a critical care nurse. What do critical care nurses do?
Basically, the critical care nurse, takes care of the sickest of sick patients. These are the patients that are hooked up to multiple medications. They're on, they have machines breathing for them. They have machines pumping blood through them. Medications to help keep them alive. That in itself is the essence of what a critical care nurse is.
What did you enjoy about being a critical care nurse?
I think there were multiple things that I enjoyed about being a critical care nurse. One, I like the fast pace. A lot of these patients are teetering between life and death. And so you're part of a team that's help keep this patient alive. And I think, one of the most rewarding parts of the position is, when you see a patient, able to leave the ICU and then you hear they left the hospital. And the other thing is talking to family members. These family members are worried, they're concerned, and, they see all these lines, they see these tubes, they hear all this beeping, and it can be very overwhelming. And, one thing that I, really focused on, as a critical care nurse, was one, make sure I know how to take care of the patient as best as possible. And two was to make sure the family knew everything that was going on and they understood it. Especially if they didn't come from a healthcare background.
What surprised you about being a critical care nurse?
How much you had to know. You see, on all these TV shows, the nurses are kind of always in the background, and the doctors are calling the shots. Really, as a critical care nurse, you have to know, pretty much in line with what a doctor knows, and you almost want to anticipate too what the doctor is going to recommend as the next treatment. One thing I even noticed it in nursing school, like you always say like, oh, hey, Dr. Smith, I noticed that the patient's blood pressure is, 80/60, should we give them, X drug? And so you have to know, like, you have a problem, you should have a recommendation to follow that problem.
Are there other skills in addition to being able to anticipate needs that you really need to have if you're going to be a critical care nurse?
Yeah, I think there's several skills you need. You need to be a team player. Even though there's an I in ICU, it's really a multidiscipline collaboration. So it's, between you and the doctors, between you and the respiratory therapist, who takes care of the breathing machines, and the other nurses that you work with. Like, you alone cannot take care of your patient. You need all the nurses around you to help you, bounce ideas off of, help turning a patient. It really takes a collaborative effort. So definitely being a team player and being empathetic, almost putting yourself, and the empathetic part is with the family members. Once they come in, put yourself in their shoes. Like, they come in and they see all this stuff, like, they're probably overwhelmed. What can you do to help, alleviate all that unnecessary stress that they have, just by talking to them? So I think, being empathetic and good communicator, I think are, go hand in hand with that as well.
What questions should a student in high school ask themselves if they're considering a career in nursing, either specifically as a critical care nurse or in another specialization?
Number one question is, can you handle blood? The other questions to follow that are, how do you see yourself taking care of other people? Like, do you enjoy taking care of other people? So whether, you're a babysitter, in high school, it's like, how do I take this to the next level? And then it's like, do you enjoy, you don't have to be passionate about science and the human body, but you have to have some level of curiosity and understanding of how the human body works and how science arrived at how the human body works and how we're continuing to learn.
Now, you transitioned from being a critical care nurse into this improvement specialist role. Can you talk about that transition and kind of what you do now?
I was a critical care nurse for over 5.5 years, and the next jump in my position was really to become an improvement specialist. And as an improvement specialist, what I do is I help roll out quality and process improvement projects across all the ICUs within the UPMC system. And because I have that critical care background, we deal with a lot with the nurses and the nursing leadership and other stakeholders, and having that critical care background when we're rolling out these programs in the ICU kind of gives us street cred.
What's one more piece of advice you would offer anyone considering or aspiring to work in the field of nursing?
I would always say stay curious, because there's always so much to learn. There'll be days where you think that you knew all the answers, and then there'll be other days where you realize that you were at the tip of the iceberg, as far as the knowledge goes, as working in healthcare. But I think that can be broad, brushed across all industries. It's just stay curious and always learn. You can never stop learning, and especially in healthcare, it's very important that you are a constant learner.
Omar, thank you so much for sharing your time and experiences with us today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
For more information or to learn about other careers in the Career Journey series, visit our website and check back soon for our next installment. Thanks!